Wednesday of that week. I wasn't thinking of shit to do with y'all.
That's your business.
You could have rented a camera crew.
It's
Oh
crazy. We
no,
didn't
man.
even
I'm
think.
not
We didn't
getting.
even,
Like,
I
what's
wouldn't
stop
get
you from
married.
doing?
well, the thing is, we didn't even think about stuff like even filming or coming up with anything until like it was happening. So I was
Until
like,
until it was too late. Like when you was ignoring Darren.
Who?
who?
Will.
And you see how he put that live on? No, thank you.
What do you mean? Oh, thank you.
Well, Darren doesn't watch the show because he said it's just Jason's show with 3 other people who talk over each other.
He said Jason's the host.
He said
and
Jason's the
everyone
host, the other 3 just talk over each other.
Let me tell you something. I said stone face then, I said stone face now.
When he said that, I shut the fuck up too. I was like, okay,
He
well.
looked out at that beach. He wasn't gonna say nothing. He wasn't gonna give him nothing.
I'd give him nothing.
He's like,
I said that like it wasn't happening. And Dex was just giving him everything. You did what? And you're the what? And I was just like,
because I really was
music
shocked.
sure is
Like
lovely.
we've never really had like a full conversation. So
Jason, if you don't come this summer, I'm gonna be devastated.
Ty, what? How the fuck you expect me to get there?
what's he get married?
A plane ride is not that expensive.
Tell me about it.
It's just a plane ride. Like all you have to do is get your ass on the plane. Like you
Like
have
the plane ride's not expensive, but this time last month we were all
Right.
complaining that the plane was too expensive.
no, the plane, the hotel, and the car rental is expensive,
and the tux,
and the tux.
which by the way,
that we don't get our money back for.
they never told me that if they got it or
Your
not.
money back for? Did you?
They didn't charge it. They got their money.
That's what it needs to be. I'm not keeping that raggedy suit.
But you got use out of it. It's not just a deposit now. You just return it. Everything's even. Like
I didn't get use out of that. You got use out of it.
Well, we got pictures.
you got pictures in it. And y'all tie them fat ass bows.
You sat right there. You sat right there and listened to Ty tell everybody to do that. Then you approved.
Do you think? For one more time, do you think I was paying attention to what y'all was doing? I was not.
I wondered.
I assumed you were, like, cause you were like you were fine. I'm just like, well, I mean, he's
Cackling.
not-
I was fine, but my
Kinky
mind
along.
was every place else.
I was really trying to drop that little ass ring Christina got.
Ty was like, Ty was like, yeah, I want all the ties tied like this. Is this okay? Maybe he didn't ask you. Now that I think about it, I think Ty just made that decision on his
No,
own.
I didn't ask Jason.
No, Todd definitely just
Decision on my own.
Todd just definitely wanted church knots, and he went with church knots. That was.
And
that
then
was it.
Darren said, I know how to do it. And then Ty said, no, you let Will do it.
I literally want everyone's tie to look exactly the same. I like the way it looked. That's all that mattered. I approved.
All right, let's start the show. You guys ready?
Yep.
For the hold on, let me turn this camera right. For the receipt cam,
Did we
I'm
advertise?
asked that
I didn't
you.
think anybody advertised.
Well, it's not live, remember?
Yeah, but we just have to let people know we're coming back.
I'll do it tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it'll be a little promo or something I put out there tomorrow morning.
When I wake up.
All right. So yeah, if you guys want to mention the wedding, feel free. Same show as usual. There will be. For the receipt cam this week, I'm not going to necessarily. I'm gonna put it up, but you guys are going to have to click on my face.
Mhm.
So it's not taking over the whole stream because I kind of like you guys' reactions when we do it. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. We back. Welcome to another edition, Bro Talk Live, straight off of a vacation for my wedding. I'm a single. I'm flossing. What's up, Dex? What's up, bro?
Dex the one
Bandana
here.
back.
Bandana's back for this week. I was doing some spring cleaning and I found it. And I said, "Oh, I know that people miss it." Tied it back on there, and I'm here. Excited.
Oh,
to
you
be
found,
here.
so you found the missing one that completes your rainbow set now.
It completes the rainbow set, the unicorn set.
Tyler God, what's up, bro?
All is well. Just happy to be back doing our thing.
You're happy to be back in Philly, or did you?
No, I'm not happy to be back in Philly, actually. It actually has not stopped raining since the wedding. Like, literally, it's rained every single day. Clouds. We saw a little bit of sun for a half a day yesterday, and then that was it.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
pretty. It's like England over here.
Well, I'll pray for you. Bill, what's up, bro?
I'm back and I'm broke as ever, thanks to you.
Thanks to Jason.
No, thanks to that Mercedes Benz that you decided to rent and floss around town with the top down. That's why you're broke.
Somebody had to do it, right?
I'm sorry, am I supposed to say rent? Should I say lease? Like, what's the correct term there?
Rent is correct. That's about what it was. For 3 days.
Keeping it for more than
3-day lease. 4-day lease.
3-day lease. Did you get your deposit back?
I'm actually surprised things that you guys damaged the property.
You damaged the car?
Oh no, that room definitely was damaged.
They took a room.
He went into the room damaged, so like that's not his fault.
Get your life. That room was damaged.
That non-smoking room, certainly, I'm sure it has a smoking sound on it.
Oh, you know they had that. Just so you guys out there know, like we were all in LA together for Jason's wedding, so like we haven't seen each other or talked to each other since that because we're not real friends. And like,
no, right? Terrible. We're fake TV friends.
Clearly.
Where has it gone wrong? Like it's all gone so bad, so quickly.
We have everything we need to be friends. We're just not.
It sounds so depressing. All right.
Well, I saw some girl I'm gonna hook you up with. That has nothing to do with the show, but
I was gonna say what? Like,
you said you have a girl for Will?
Yeah.
Oh, congrats, Will.
Come through.
Praise God.
Look who's big time. It's cute. All right. As usual, we have something that we like to call. Do we still call it the receipt cam? I guess we still call it.
We do.
Actually, we don't call it anything anymore because we actually don't even refer to it. But in any event, we have some news that has been happening, trickling on down the timeline, and that's what we call this first segment, the A Block, aka the timeline. And this is stuff that has happened this week or the weeks that have passed since we. Lauryn Hill. If you guys didn't hear about Lauryn Hill, it's the same business as usual for Ms. Lauryn Hill. She has shown up late to another performance, but this time her fans have decided to call her on it big time. Like they said, Ms. Lauryn, you're playing with our time, playing with our money, and we're going to tell you about yourself. She went to the Chastain Park Amphitheater's 2016 Delta Live Nation concert series. She was scheduled to start the concert at 8:00 p.m. She showed up to begin her set at 10:20. Because of a strict union policy, the sound was cut out of her performance promptly at 11 p.m. There was no opening act, and the DJ reportedly tried to keep the crowd tamed with Prince hits since he died, and he decided to use that to his advantage, and classic hip-hop. Am I going in and out, or no?
You are.
Okay. I am going in and out?
On my end, I thought it was my cheap internet, so I just smiled and kept looking.
Dex, am I going in and out on your side?
It was on mine too. I don't know if
it But I didn't know if it, like I said, I didn't know if it was just me. I didn't know if it would come across on the show like that or if it's just now.
Right.
What's going in and out?
Like when you talk.
Like the sound
like
just cuts out?
The whole first part of what you read, I didn't hear. I just tried.
Yeah, like it came in, you were just saying like Lauryn Hill, and I didn't know. Again, I thought it was like mine.
Am I going in and out now, or am I straight?
You're good.
It might be these little shitty ass headphones.
It's working right now.
Okay, maybe I just need to stop moving so much. It's probably these shitty ass headphones because I can see like a short in it right now. All right. In the news, tell me if I cut out again. Just stop me. In the news this week, we're talking about Miss Lauryn Hill, and it's for the same reasons that we always talk about Lauryn Hill, because she was late for another performance, and this time the crowd did not just stand around and wait for her to come up. After she got there, they decided to tell her about herself. She was scheduled to perform at the Chastain Park Amphitheater's 2016 Delta Live Nation concert series. She showed up and began her set at 10:20 p.m. for a show that was scheduled to begin at 8:00. The show promptly ended 40 minutes later as the sound was cut because they don't play that. There was no opening act, and the DJ reportedly tried to keep the crowd tame with Prince hits and classic hip-hop. And, of course, they used Prince because he died, and what better way to exploit the dead than to play their music when you're just trying to sell time? She made no mention of her tardiness when she got there, but a video later surfaced on Twitter with an angry fan demanding to know what happened and saying, what the hell's the deal? We were here for 2 hours waiting for you. You always do this. And Lauryn Hill said, quote, my driver got lost. I can't control that. The guy then tried to check Lauryn Hill and said, look, I just saw you here for sound check 3 hours ago. You were here. So how the hell did you leave and get lost coming back? And so she just kept trying to explain that it's not her fault and all this stuff, and that everyone loves her, so he needs to calm down. This, of course, is a valid point by the fan because she's been late plenty of times. The next graphic is going to show you all the times that I could find on Google's first page. I just Googled Lauryn Hill late. And these are all the headlines from different times when she's been late, just on the first page of Google. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did I count right? I think that's 8 right there in front of my face. That this stuff has been happening since 2007, 2008. She's been late to her concerts, talking about people need to respect her. This time she has a different excuse. She decided to take to her Facebook page because, of course, people are really interested in Lauryn Hill's Facebook page. But she said, quote, I don't show up late to shows because I don't care. And I have nothing but love and respect for my fans. The challenge is aligning my energy with the time. Taking something that isn't easily classified or contained and trying to make it available for others. I don't have an on and off switch. I'm at my best when I am open, rested, sensitive, and liberated to express myself as truthfully as possible. For every performance that I've arrived too late, there have been countless others where I've performed in excess of 2 hours beyond what I'm contracted to do, pouring out everything on stage. But girl, we didn't pay for that show. Because I care so deeply about the artistic process, I scrutinize, have perfectionist tendencies, and want space made for spontaneity, which is not an easy process, with the many moving parts on the road. Some days we are more successful than others with time. However, the vitality that is infused into the performances is always appreciated by the by the audiences who may not know exactly what it took to accomplish. What hasn't been touched upon the media, I'm sure, are the hundreds of people who rushed the stage and stayed in excess of an hour after the show ended last night just to connect. Our challenge is to figure out the best way to accommodate the vitality, spontaneity, and spirit that make the performances worthwhile and special to begin with, while also making that experience available and accessible to others. If I didn't love and respect the art, I wouldn't be doing this. The audience and I should have that in common. My true audience knows emphatically that I care. It isn't possible to affect people in any deep and meaningful way without putting sacrificial time in. I have nothing but love and appreciation for the fans in Atlanta and regret not being able to give you a full show. We are figuring out a plan to make it up to you, and we will announce details as soon as we have them. Respectfully, Miss Lauryn Hill. Of course, she puts the M in there as, I guess, her first initial. Guys, are you buying Lauryn Hill's excuse? Do you think that she has a right to, claim artistic merit when she's over here stalling for time at these shows? Bill, as a performer, what you think?
I don't know how many of you all actually know this. Lauryn Hill is one of my favorite female singers. And a few years ago, I actually went to see her perform with Nas. It was a concert with Nas and Lauryn Hill.
Was that the Rock the Bells concert?
I'm sorry?
Was that the Rock the Bells concert?
I'm actually not sure. But I remember purchasing tickets and going. And she was on time, which made me pleased. As an artist, I think you owe it to your fans to be on time. Like, first of all, that's the excuse I'm going to start using when I'm late to work. The energies just wasn't aligned. Like, that's my excuse.
Wasn't it good though? Please.
Because I just like that. Like, oh no, baby, the energies just weren't aligned for me to be on time today. But as an artist, you owe it to your fans. Like, that's a part of your discipline. That's a part of mastering your craft. You owe it to the people paying hundreds of dollars to come and see you scream on that stage, because you're not singing too great these days, honey. To scream on that stage, speed up those songs, and try to reach for those notes. You owe it to them to at least be on time. And then you're going to tell me that you didn't see the people that stayed an hour after the show. They clearly didn't have anything else to do. They were there for 2 hours of waiting, sitting around looking stupid. So the least they got to be like, are you kidding me? Like, you gave them 40 minutes and you expected them to go home? You lucky that's all they did was rush the stage, because you'd have had to go home and sing in my living room to me.
Well, Will summed it up very well. No, seriously, Me, like you guys know, I'm here for energy and stuff like that. I love conversations like that. I love talking about Mercury being in retrograde and whatnot. Like I am so here for that kind of stuff. But I don't blame Lauryn Hill for this. It's not her fault. It's really not her fault.
How is it not her fault? It's her show, ain't it?
I'm sorry, what?
Because this is why it's not her fault. This is a perfect example. This summer, Will and I are going to go to, not together, but Will and I are going to go to Beyonce's concert. And guess what? She'll be on time. But guess where Will and I are not going? We're not going to the Roots picnic because we wanted to go there to see DMX. We know right. DMX is not going to make it. So if you know this artist is notorious for falling out and like whatever the hell DMX does with himself, we know that. So we're not going to put ourselves in a position to go see him. You knew Lauryn Hill. Jason, you just put up eight different times where Lauryn Hill was late in the past 2 years. If you know that, you know this person has issues with being on time, why would you on a Monday, Tuesday, Sunday night, whenever it was, go and stand in their parking lot and sit there and wait for her to perform? You're stupid. Like, that's your fault that you sat out there and waited for her, not hers. That's on you.
So you're saying you wouldn't go see a Cat Williams comedy show knowing that he could be in jail?
I'm not going to go see a Cat Williams comedy show in Atlanta because I know either he's going to attack me or he's not going to show up. So, no, like, I'm too smart to do that. I'm not going to waste my time. Ty, what do you think?
Well, the stars and the energy have to align.
I know that's right.
The most appropriate answer, because when I'm giving answers on Bro Talk, my energy has to be there. Come on. That's exactly how ridiculous you sound. Lauryn Hill needs to get her ass there on time, or she needs to give back these partial refunds for a 40-minute show. She's 2 hours late. I can understand being, 30 minutes late, not 2 hours late. And then try to perform, and then all the lights start shutting off, and people are in there, and the sound goes out, and it's like, oh, we sat around and we had a powwow afterward. That's what y'all didn't see. Here.
Dex,
I want my money. We paid you to sing, not to talk. Even though these days she's doing a lot more talking than singing.
Dex, what would happen if you show up to work 2 hours late?
Oh, I do that all the time, so it's no big deal.
Ooh, key card access. Never denied.
You know what they do with me? They circle your name in that little book.
Come on, red pen. They red circle us.
But Lauryn Hill, if I'm not mistaken, though, hasn't come out with any new music since 1998. I don't understand why people are still checking for her anyway.
She's still singing that old music.
Even if she's came out with something new, I guarantee you she's only singing songs from 1998. Why are you checking for somebody from 1998?
Well, no, she's not. When I went to her, and that's the other thing I was going to say, because when I went to her show and she was on time, I feel like she knows what city she can get away with this in. Like, you're not going to get away with it in Chicago because somebody's going to blow you up. You know it's not happening in Philadelphia because we don't play that kind of foolishness. Atlanta, you definitely couldn't get away with it because it's a bunch of unicorns and glitter down there.
Don't come for the unicorns because you will get hurt. And unicorns aren't people. Unicorns are magical beings. But I think there's some validity to that because when I went to Rihanna's concert a couple years ago, the day before the concert, she was supposed to be in Baltimore and canceled her appearance in Baltimore and then came to Philadelphia the next day. Now, if I live in Baltimore, I'm pissed about that because it's not that far of a travel. So how the hell can you not come perform for us and on time and everything, but yet you come to this other state? And people were there in the arena and like just waiting for her to come out, and then they were like, oh, by the way, she's not coming. So,
but conversely, Drake did that a few years ago. And
Drake's situation was totally different, though. Drake's situation was totally different. One, let me explain what the Drake situation. He does a catwalk. He does a catwalk during like the performance or whatever, which is Philadelphia's problem because they didn't have it secured. I went to that concert twice. Once in New Jersey and once in Philadelphia. The first time they weren't ready for him to perform.
So is it Philadelphia's fault? So you're telling me it's the city's fault because he didn't get there early enough for them to set up his stage? His engineers to set up his stage?
Well, it's the city's fault because it is the city's fault because their arena wasn't equipped to handle it. So it's the city's fault.
I don't know if you know much about performing, but
I don't know if you know much about getting something together.
Oh.
I'll get you together.
What you won't do is get me together.
Here we go again.
I'm going to school you really quickly.
Jason,
so what happens is when you go to perform,
go ahead. Next.
the people on your tour set up your stage, not the city. So it had nothing to do with the city. It was your light-skinned, moist favorite performer doing what he does the best and being moist.
I hate the term moist. Like I wish people that
The,
have stopped saying that for a
moistest
long
man
time
on the
now.
panel talking about some moist. If you don't get,
Oh,
well,
He doesn't seem to think so. That's interesting.
speaking of moist, actually I don't know what this has to do with moist at all. I just
thank
decided
you
to
for the
start.
transition. No, we appreciate it. We want to shut up.
We all know Game of Thrones came back this week, right? Well, not this week. Well, while we were on break.
Yes.
Oh, we absolutely know they came back.
And
So we
there's
love
been
it.
some crazy things happening there. Some crazy moves are happening, and people are staking their claims to the throne. Someone who's actually been staking their claim a little bit better than anyone on Game of Thrones lately is one named Angela Kardashian.
Hmm?
Also
come through
known
transition.
also known as Black China. She's been making her
First of all, wait,
bid at the
Jason.
throne
Wait a
because she
minute.
is now pregnant with the heir to the
Wait.
Kardashian
What I
throne,
don't want
which
you to
is
ever do
Rob
again.
Kardashian's baby.
No.
Jason,
Before you
Huh?
even carry on,
let me
I
tell you
don't
what you're
want you
not going
to
to do.
disrespect
You're not about
the
to start
Game
a
of
story about
Thrones.
Game of Thrones and then
No.
transition
No,
into
you
a
won't.
Kardashian story. Is it to get me all drawn in to see what
First
you
off, he
said that I
perfectly
didn't have?
smoothly he hooked y'all in there, brought it in there smoothly,
Yes,
and
he
I'm here
did.
for it. I am
I
here
thought it
for
was
it.
Let me
How
tell
do you
you
like
what
that?
you're not.
I thought it was smooth. Well, yeah, she announced while we were on break that she's pregnant with Rob's baby. So that in turn makes this Kardashian / Jenner family tree a little bit more complicated. Because now if Black China and Rob have a baby, then that means there's a lot of confusion going on with the whole Black China Tiger baby situation and everything else. A lot of people had questions, so they said, wait, so if Kylie and Tiger get married and Kylie has a baby, what's that make China's baby and Kylie's baby? It's a good question.
Brothers and cousins.
Brothers? Okay. Someone also said only way Tiger can win is if he has a baby with Kris Jenner. They also said Tiger's been crossing people off the list like a serial killer for the past 2 years. And the winner, in my opinion, was Karma Kardashian. Could you imagine if she named that child Karma with a K, Kardashian? It would be so apropos. Also, though, while we were on break, she ended up making up, it looks like, with Kylie. They took a picture on what appears to be, I think, is this Snapchat, Dex? I don't know that.
Yeah, it's Snapchat.
Okay. They took a picture together on Snapchat with the caption, "When we've been best friends the whole time," which we alluded to a couple of weeks ago, saying that this all could just be a public setup, just for us to have interest in their lives some way or another. If you have not seen Keeping Up with the Kardashians lately, there's been an episode where they decided to spin this into a little bit of family drama. What's his name? Rob brought a $2.2 million house in Calabasas, and Kim Kardashian had a problem with it. Kim
Where
said
does
to
he get
Chris,
$2.2 million?
Well,
from
follow it. Here
Chris,
it comes.
and
You've explained
that
it.
was Kim's point. Kim said, "You should not be paying for your son that is almost 30 years old to buy a home." "Drop him," Chloe said. "Cut the cord." Chris replied by saying, "You guys can judge me all day long. I came here to have a nice dinner, so just everybody relax. You all have to have someone to blame and criticize instead of just saying, 'What's the problem?'" And then Kim fired back by saying, "The problem is you."
And then
Chris
Jenner
decided to end
delivered
the whole thing.
the most epic, what they call it, read in reality TV show history. Go through this.
She said, quote, "No, all of you can F off and go think of something else to talk about. I've seen you guys through so much S that you do that I have to F and put up with. I'm married for 72 days. Really? That was normal? I mean, the S that we've all gone through, you guys can do anything you want and it's okay. And I'm supposed to accept it all. And I'm going to do the same thing for him. So stop judging me." So Mother Chris coming to the defense of her baby boy.
And like legit, like I watched that clip and face stuck. Nobody said like they legit probably
Kim's
had
face
to,
was stuck for a different reason.
well, yeah, but they probably had to like halt production after that because it was just like Kim was like, "What's my line? I don't know what to say after that."
Guys, how do you feel about the Black China thing? Do you think she massively played it, or is she getting massively played? What do you think, Dex?
Absolutely both. I think she thinks,
Both.
yeah. I think she's I think the person who's getting played the most here is Rob. I don't think he realizes like what's really happening here because remember before years ago, but when we cared about the Kardashians, Rob was still in the show. Then he quit the show, and because he had body issues and all that stuff like that, then China came and she brought him out of the body issues. The one thing he said he wouldn't do is go on the show. So then now he's back on the show and he's doing the stuff that he said he wouldn't do, and he's having a baby with this person who's probably just going to take him for his money. So at the end of the day, Rob, you lose here. And I definitely think Black China is doing this on purpose.
But
Right, Ty, I know you're not really interested in the Kardashian drama, but I feel like your viewpoint here would be
if
astute.
mom purchased the house, like, does that mean Rob himself doesn't have any money? So if she leaves him, like, she doesn't get anything. So is she really playing him? Because like,
well, apparently they're doing a reality show now, and they're negotiating 7-figure deals for a reality show. So they're going to get paid from a show of some sort.
And she's already licensed her name as Angela Kardashian. Like, so at the end of the day, even if he leaves and he doesn't have any money, she's always going to be getting paid now. Like, this is like her meal ticket now. She thought the Tiger one was her meal ticket, but no,
Tiger has a couple of dollars, so she's all right.
Tiger has a couple of dollars that Kylie gave him.
No, Tiger, he doesn't have nearly.
Don't forget, Tiger owes everyone. He owes Kylie. He remember when he rented the car that he gave her for her birthday?
Yeah, that Benz truck
that was leased under her name. Like,
not until he changes his last name to Kardashian, then he'll have some money.
That's what he really needs to do to win. Change his last name to Kardashian.
Change his last name to Kardashian.
But it won't be official, so it won't matter. Bill, how do you feel about Angela Kardashian's moves?
I really think they're like, that entire family is the scum of the earth except Kanye West, and I don't care about any of them.
Kanye West for the color context? He's down there with them.
Is Angela her real name?
It is
now.
now.
I believe.
Who knows?
It is now.
The girl's mom name is Tokyo T, so we don't know what the hell her real name is.
Tokyo Tony. And Tokyo Tony decided she was going to make an announcement on behalf of both sides of the family. She congratulated Black China and Rob on the baby pregnancy, and she also shouted out the Kardashians and the Jenners, saying, "Hey guys, we're ready to celebrate. We have a new baby in the family." So she's ready to move on in.
Kim wouldn't be caught dead in a photograph or a baby shower or nothing with Tokyo T. Like, it's not going down. And Caitlyn wouldn't either.
What I do have, I take umbrage with, however, though, for this Kardashians, is that whole Lamar Odom thing that they put on their show.
That wasn't okay. That wasn't okay at all.
Do you think they're trying to? I don't want to sit here and speculate whether or not he's still going through troubles or not. That's why I didn't really bring it up. But I have read stuff that he's starting to get back into drinking, going to bars and stuff. I hope that was not scripted for the show. I
don't think him going to bars and stuff was scripted for the show. However, the night before, the episode focused mostly on Lamar and like his recovery and how he's doing in life and stuff. And having to relive that is painful. It was painful for me to look at it. So I know that has to be painful for him to look at. Your children are looking at that. So I could see why the very next day he was out drinking. That I just thought it was very distasteful. When they showed a picture of the man, like, basically dead, and then they had a scene where one of the girls told him, like, "Oh, we thought you wouldn't make it," and stuff like that. Like, you should definitely have a new outlook on life, XYZ. And it, like, you can't exploit somebody like that who's clearly going through something and then like think it's okay. And they're like, "Oh, we bought him a house, this, that, and the third." Like, there's nothing you can do besides get this man professional help that I think is going to be okay. And showcasing this stuff on TV is not the way to go.
All right. Moving on, and then the last bit of news that we're going to cover today is one of our favorite people in the world, and you guys will be pleased to see that she is back on our forefront. Former Stunt Queen of the Year, Azealia Banks. She has decided to fully endorse one Donald Trump for president.
Another stunt king of the year.
Yeah, another Stunt King of the Year. And Hillary, who I'm sure will be running for Stunt Queen of the Year this year.
Stunt King of the Year.
You know she is.
Azealia went on Twitter and decided to speak her mind. She said, "I really want Donald Trump to win the election. Everything I predicted is happening. I told you guys Bernie Sanders didn't have the clout. I told you all he wasn't going to be the nominee. Hillary has been groomed for the presidency. She's another one of the establishment's robots here to carry out an agenda. Trump is an asshole, but he's not been groomed and programmed on some M culture tip. to do and say what the establishment wants him to do. The establishment and its plans/agendas start and end with white supremacy, culturally, economically, literally, and figuratively. Trump just wants the U.S. to be lavish, and for all of us. I can F with that. Hillary talks to black people as if we're children or pets. I can't stand her. So, guys, question for you. After you hear this, how you guys feel about Azealia Banks' comments? Was it inbounds, out of bounds, fair, foul? What you think?
I think if you look at the part where she said he wants the U.S. to be lavish for all of us, I'm not really sure what all of us is, because
everybody but the blacks and the Mexicans.
He said, well, no, he doesn't. He's talked about Chinese people. He's talked about Mexican people, black people, women. Like, I don't understand like exactly what stone she thinks that he didn't overturn that she's under. Like, miss, you are a black woman. You are the first person that would be lavishly like put out, if anything. Like, you're gonna be swimming with the fishes dealing with Donald Trump. Like, don't put stuff out like that, because when you do, and he does win, and we see that, we're coming for you. Like, we're gonna say, look what you did, look what you made, look what you made happen.
However, I do agree with her stance on Hillary. I'm not here for Hillary Clinton at all.
We've all kind of pretty much said the same things about Hillary. So what she said about Hillary wasn't actually incorrect.
Yeah, but like if you sprinkle a little bit of truth about Hillary, how you feel about sprinkle a little bit of truth about Hillary in on a pile of Donald Trump, like that does nothing. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day,
that's what politics is all about.
It's crazy and ridiculous. You normally, yeah, like with Bernie and Hillary, absolutely. With Donald Trump and Hillary, no. Like, you just can't compare the two. Like, people say, like, I want to choose the lesser of two evils. Like, that's exactly what this case is. Like, Donald Trump is not. It's just so weird that we're even talking about Donald Trump this seriously, this far into the election.
This is crazy, is it not? Like, we're still talking about him being president. Like,
no,
and at this point, not only are we talking about Donald Trump, we're talking about who his running mate is going to be, because he basically has the Republican nomination. Like, this is done. This is a done deal.
But I do feel like we can endure Hillary Clinton more, and I do mean endure, than we can Donald Trump, because I feel like she is groomed for the current establishment. So it's like nothing's going to be that much different. So it's like it's just going to be the same.
She is the establishment. Yeah.
Maybe slightly worse, but not as horrific as it's going to be if Donald Trump gets his ridiculous ass in office. Like,
the crazy part though about Hillary. Sorry, Will. The crazy part about Hillary though is that
it keeps going.
I just want to get this out real quick. The crazy part about Hillary though is that see this is what he said. Like, the other three just talk over each other. But this is the crazy thing about Hillary, is that she's promised and backpedaled and pandered so much that when she gets into office, we're expecting so much. As a black man, I'm expecting more from Hillary Clinton than I did from Barack Obama.
We're not expecting anything.
I'm not expecting crap from him.
I feel like the stuff that she has promised and the platforms that she stood on, like, I'm expecting a lot. Like, you talk about you're going to do so much for the gay people and the transgender people and the black.
The
and
same thing I'm expecting from Donald Trump, I'm expecting from Hillary Clinton. A boat ride back to.
Well, then that means she's not doing. That means that she's not doing what she said she would do.
Of course she's not.
Want for one
she
second
is out here saying.
Hold on. Let Bill hasn't gone yet.
Good.
The first issue I have is I don't want Azealia Banks out here thinking she's a prophet to the nations. Everything she predicted is going to happen is
making statements.
Making statements. That's the first thing. The second thing is your endorsement is like an earthworm endorsing like salt. It's a slug endorsing salt. I don't want you to think that we give two rats behinds about you endorsing anything. You can't authorize salt from around the corner. Like, you can't authorize an order of French fries. Like, I don't want you to think that you say, and then you're talking about how you don't want Hillary Clinton because she's white this and white supremacist. So you go endorse a white supremacist. Like, tell me how that makes sense in anywhere. If you had like half a gnat's brain, you would clearly understand that none of them, like.
Didn't she get shot though? So maybe that's why she's.
Who got shot?
Azalea
Oh
Banks.
yeah, Azalea.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Hillary. I was about to say, when the fuck did Hillary get shot? Did I miss that?
No, but I'm sure she said to get a
Let
black
her
vote.
tell it though. Let her tell it. She's been shot quite a few times. She's been shot 9 times.
I was getting shot at with Tupac.
Actually,
with Tupac.
she actually did say that though. There was a visit to like a foreign country, and she said when I got off the plane, they were like shooting
Oh,
missiles, and
yeah.
we had to rush. And then they showed the video, the footage, and she was
Smiling and waving.
drinking champagne. Just like, oh, you took a shot. That's what happened. You took a shot.
Yeah,
Right.
Hillary Clinton's pretty embarrassing.
Anything to get that black vote.
And she's really saying
Shout out to
anything.
our-
I was over
She's
her when
like
she
in
went on
church
Black
now.
Girls Rock. Like, that's when I was
Yeah.
officially.
I thought that was the
She was
worst
at
part
some
until she
BET
said she had the hot sauce in her bag. Like that, it was so unnecessary.
Y'all
Someone
some
asked her what kind of hot
gangsters.
sauce she had. She said all different kinds. So she has like a whole arsenal of hot sauce. I'm like,
And
come
then
on.
the crazy part about it, they went and they put up old interviews of her talking about how she carries around hot sauce for health purposes. This is the thing. I don't care if you carry hot sauce or not. I don't give a damn. But what bothers me about it is that you go on a black radio show and you talk about something like that. Like, you're pandering to the black audience. And then when he tells you that you're pandering to the black audience, people are going to say that. Your response is it working?
She probably took
Right.
notes on lemonade
Like,
and everything. Like,
Tell me how
she
you
had her
gonna
staff
close the
present her
person. How you
like
gonna get
what
people to look like
Beyonce
you out of
said
jail?
and
Like, don't
everything.
talk to me about foolishness, about no daggone hot sauce.
My,
I don't want to hear it.
my last comment about her is when she stood in the pulpit in front of Black Jesus with
Dude,
that fist up, I was done. I was officially done. I was a little bit done with the whole Black Girls Rock, but when I saw her preaching, I was through.
you, because I'm like, you standing up here lying to God and Black Jesus. If you don't lie to both of them,
Like, did she say, get this picture? Like, the picture that came out, it could have been from any angle, but Black Jesus was like almost giving her a hug. I'm just like, I'm finished. I'm finished.
strung up on that cross,
It's just like,
looking at
like,
her.
oh, wait, one second. Let me try this one more time, but from a different angle.
And gonna quote out hymns like she just know that you.
At least she ain't say Corinthians too.
That's
Mm,
Donald
No,
Trump, right?
she
He
made.
said
Oh,
that.
you know how many times they went over them scriptures with her before she got out there?
Yeah, she's not stupid. That's one thing she's not.
All right,
She thinks
time
we are.
for Q&A. Ty, are you ready for another edition of Q&A? We only got 2 in the inbox today. That's why
Oh,
I decided just to pick them for you.
nobody's worried about us, huh?
They're both long though, so
Oh,
You are.
novels. I'm telling you, these people.
That we love.
that we love so much. All right, time for Q&A. Where were you
This
at?
is actually from a girl too, by the way. I'm sorry, I just worded in blue.
Okay.
You're so
Wow.
childish. Childish.
I copy and pasted into the old slide and just cut the color. I ain't feel like changing it back.
You are editing this out, correct?
Yeah.
Welcome to Bro Talk. I'm sorry, I'm getting my lines mixed up. That was your line. It's time for Q&A.
All right, Kim Kardashian.
This question, whatever. All right, pull it up.
You gotta click on it.
Oh. Black screen, black screen, black screen. There we go.
You don't see it?
Yeah, it just came up. I can't see the bottom. You know how it is. All right.
Oh, okay, I'll scroll up a little bit.
Oh, I never thought to actually do that.
All right, can you see the bottom
A
now?
little bit higher.
Hold on, let me just do it like this. Better.
Oh yeah. That make it too small now. You know I can't see it. I got glaucoma. On cataracts. Anyway,
There you go.
so my boyfriend and I have been together for a little over a year and a half, and are very happy together. Not deliriously happy or infatuated, but the kind of happy where we've been through a lot of stuff and been there for each other at difficult times in both of our lives. We have the kind of deep, deep bond that only comes around once in a lifetime. He's respectful, super smart, funny. Is this me? Adorable, and basically everything I could want. We have discussed marriage in a very concrete, real sense, and I'm excited about spending my life with this guy. The problem is, I'm 19 and he's 20. No, not me. We are both still in school. We are, in the same year at the same school and won't graduate for 2 more years. We plan on getting engaged at the end of next year and being married the summer after our senior year. My parents, however, although they absolutely love him, are skeptical that I can know right now that he is really the one, Dexter. And that in my girlish puppy love, I'm deluding myself into making a hasty decision I'll regret later in life. It's worth noting that my mom was engaged in college, but broke it off and later met my dad in grad school. My friends, too, my lovely intellectual feminist friends, are kind of judging me for being excited at the prospect of settling down so quickly. Continue? Oh, well, that's a first. And the question is, so, two-part question.
No, you got to finish reading the first part. You just want to skip?
I thought that was enough background. You have to do that.
Ty, if you don't read,
You have to think that was enough background information. I thought she gave us plenty of background. Fine. Oh God.
you know how 19-year-old girls are.
This is like her diary. Like, woman, we're old. Like, well, I'm damn near 30 at this point. I fully plan on waiting at least 10 years to have kids, though. And don't think about marriage.
Okay, what's the question? You're right.
Think about marriage. Boyfriend, should I marry this guy? Blah, blah, blah.
No, this is important. We have to read the rest of the question.
Thank you, Dex.
Get to that question. We've had enough.
My boyfriend and I are, we have two questions. All right, so here's the question. So, two-part question. What are your thoughts on getting married young? See, we didn't need all this background for this.
Yeah, we did. They're talking. She talks about the future and finances and everything like that.
Business, hasty decision. We get the point. And if you support it, do you have any tips to deal with cynics? Yeah. Honestly, we can answer this question without all the background. So let me start. Your life is your business. Tell people to mind their own. If they don't support you, then they don't support you. If you want to get married, get married. If you get divorced, that's your business too. If you want to have kids in 10 years, you want to have kids in 2 years. Like, it's really none of our business.
It's really interesting actually though, because my younger brother was married.
I heard it turned out well.
Huh?
I heard it turned out well.
Well, they got divorced and
married at what age?
He was 19.
Mm-hmm.
Rob was 9. I mean, did I say? Can we edit that part? I don't want to say his name. He was 19. And before he was 21, they were married, and the thing was a divorce and annul. Because it's kind of like leaving the party at 7 o'clock. Like, the party doesn't start until like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and you're just walking in at 6:50, and you're like, okay, gotta go at 7.
No, I disagree with that, because then there's people who are 30 and 40 years old who stayed at the party until 2 o'clock in the morning and still got nothing out of it.
They were not able to exercise wisdom. They were not able to exercise wisdom.
Look at us.
I honestly think everybody's situation is different. Like, it really depends. If like, you're not to be super spiritual on Bro Talk, but if God calls you to marry this
person, God doesn't want anything to do with this shit.
It is what it is. But like, we don't have the right to tell you yes or no. I mean, would I get married at 19? Absolutely not. It wasn't my time. Hell, would I have gotten married at 25? No. 26? No. 27? No.
30? Maybe.
Here's the thing, though. I think, to be completely honest, I think there are just some things you ought to have before you get married, like your own apartment to leave your father and mother and cleave to your wife. Ought to be
well. If you would have read the rest of
he's getting married
out of the letter. If you would have read the rest of the letter, it says that they're both, pretty financially sound. His parents run a very good business, and he's next in line to take on the business. So he's going to be working in a business.
With them.
He should be taken care of financially, so that she said that wouldn't be a problem.
But
You know,
she said they're getting married right after college, right? So when I was out of college, I got my own place right away. Like it just like it
well, see,
depends.
I look at it this. I do agree that everybody's different, but at the same time, I don't think anybody should be. There's two things I think. I don't think anybody should be judging them. Like I just don't think that's your place
No.
because at the age of 19 and 20, they'll get married around like 22, 23, I guess, when they graduate.
I don't see anything wrong with it.
And
21.
my parents were married at that age, and they had a house and they had a child, if I'm not mistaken, by that time. So like, I don't think anybody can really like judge them. The only issue I have though is that you're concerned and you're writing us, you're asking us, what should you do? Which leads me to believe to think that you should not do it because if you have to ask and you're concerned with how people are judging you, like that's a
That's it.
problem.
Preach,
So
son.
I think you
Not
should not do
necessarily.
it.
I think she's asking because she just really wants to know, is she making a bad decision because
But
she's
you shouldn't
thinking.
have to ask. You should
But
know
if it's
though.
your
No, but
decision,
sometimes
No,
that's something
if you're
you
so
have to
young
make.
that, like, you're so young that you think you can do, you think that you're right, but a lot of people look to older people for advice and for wisdom and stuff like that. So if she's asking for like, hey guys, what do you think? Do you guys think 19 is too young? Because there's no if it isn't, there's no point in us waiting because we know we want to get married. That's kind of where I'm
But
seeing it from.
but
Because that's
here's the
actually what she
thing, though.
put in the letter. If you would have
No
read that.
matter whether or not whether you look to other people for advice or not, ultimately the decision is
I think
yours.
you
How
cleared the
life
throat.
happens is based off of your decisions. Nobody can tell you actually how to live life.
Correct.
You have to figure it out on your own. So
Yeah.
I
Correct.
mean, whether it's going to be a bad mistake or a good mistake, it's completely up to you, and you need to find out. And if people don't like it, so what? People ain't gonna like a whole bunch of stuff you're gonna do. That's life. You have to learn how to deal with that. And so if you want to get married, go ahead and get married to that boy. And then if y'all don't work out, y'all figure it out later. I mean,
But
for
I don't
real,
see
like,
the big deal of somebody getting married right after college. Like I'm so confused.
I don't see the issue with that either, or even
Like,
having discussions
people
and
do
talking
that
about
all
it.
the time.
And then
my
also, I
family
feel like
put
people
up
are
with my
saying to her. I
detail.
think
I'd
feel like
marry her too.
people are saying to her like, oh, if you get married, you're gonna have kids really, because you put in there that they're trying to wait to have kids and stuff like that. And I feel like that's because people are like throwing that out there. Like,
People always do. They do that with me and Christina. And we just got married 3 weeks ago. When's the baby coming? Mind your business.
Yeah, I agree. Like mind your business.
but I
Period.
would like to know though, when is the baby coming?
When it's good and ready.
8 months from now.
8 months from when she gets
That's why I
pregnant.
got
How about
married.
that?
They was pregnant. They tried to be ghetto real quick and get married.
Shut up.
Don't disrespect my friend.
All right. Question number 2.
Question number 2.
Ooh.
Is this it or is it to be continued as well?
This one the question is on a separate page than the actual background.
Oh. Well, you guys are writing your behinds off, but we thank you. My boss is
Yeah,
super.
we appreciate it because sometimes we don't have enough information.
Yeah, that's true. So let me not be a jerk today. We're just back for my first day. I promise next week I'm gonna be right back on it, reading all 12 pages of your novel. My boss is super racist, and it's creating a whole new layer to the S cake that is my job. I made the mistake of telling her that I wasn't a big Obama fan. I left out the part that it's because he hasn't been progressive enough. And she thought that as her, sorry, she took that as her cue to start hating on all black people. Oh my goodness. I figured
Oh, goodness.
the shocked look on my face and my total lack of contribution to the conversation would be her cue that I'm not like that, i.e., a racist. But she didn't get the hint. The floodgates for her hate speech have been open, and I'm desperate for her to shut the hell up. So, here are my questions. A. Is there anything I can say to this relatively crazy woman? Can I ask her politely to stop with the racist remarks in my presence without embarrassing her to the point of firing me? B. Any coping strategies for a super toxic work environment? I know that finding a new job would be the best solution, and I can assure you that I'm working on it. I know this issue's a little heavy, but I need real advice, not your standard go tell HR advice. We don't have HR, and it's a small company, and I need this job. Any advice is much appreciated. So guys, I want you guys, before we begin, to dig deep within yourselves to give her some real sound advice because she really reached out to us, and I think that we have a responsibility in this case to
Why do you
get
always have to give us a pep
our
talk?
message.
Like,
Because you guys need this pep talk because I just can hear the floodgate of foolishness that's going to come my way, and I need this person to get real sound advice from Bro Talk Live. Can we hold up the standard and give real advice?
who do
Just
you expect? Who do you expect to give the best advice in this situation?
me, but I will give you guys a shot.
Okay, well, who would be second? Who would be second in line to give the best advice?
The person who's closest to me, Jason.
Thank you.
Third will be Dexter, and absolutely fourth is William.
Why do I have to be that
Way
close to
down the
him? Like,
ladder.
I feel like me and Jason should be together. Like, I shouldn't be near him.
But why? Wait a minute. First of all, why am I?
Will you go? Let's see what you have to say. Let's actually go in the order.
William, you go first, and I'll give
We'll
everyone
go in the order that Ty
one
said.
says of how I think your advice went.
Yeah, let's do that.
And who died and made you Queen Sophia of Spain? Like, absolutely not.
I'll go. I think that is difficult. I'm assuming that the person who wrote this question is like not black or they're white or something else.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best way to handle a situation like that is just to handle it like head on. And like you don't have to be confrontational. You can say that you don't like Barack Obama, or you can say like you don't like anybody who just happens to be black. I just think it's when the person approached it like that, like first off, I think you should have said something at the beginning. Like, you know, your facial expressions aren't enough for people sometimes. Especially when people are saying what they want to say. They're going to keep going unless you like physically stop them and like say something to them about it. I think what you should do is, you know, first off, if you're doing this every single day, like if you just come into the office and it's like, let me tell you about these ones, like if you do if that's what's happening every day, like you absolutely have the right to say like, you know what, this is a bit much. I'm not going to participate in this. You know, this makes me uncomfortable. I don't think that that'll ruin your relationship with the person. I mean, yes, they might not talk to you about that kind of stuff anymore, and they might even start talking about you. But at the end of the day, like I just can't see somebody getting mad at you for telling you for you telling them that, you know, that makes them uncomfortable. I'm not confronting you. I'm not saying I'm telling anybody else about it. I'm not telling other coworkers about it to get like something going on. I'm just simply saying you know, that makes me uncomfortable. Like I would prefer not to have these kind of conversations. And that's it. That's all I would do.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how she's actually saying it. Like, if they're like bringing in like watermelon for summertime, someone for a snack, she's like, "Oh, that must be for the blacks," and she's just like doing all this unnecessary stuff. Like, then yeah, I feel like maybe you should be like, "Look, I mean, that was funny or whatever, but I have a lot of black friends. Like, just don't. If you can say the cliche thing, I have a lot of black friends, or I have friends that are black and they aren't like that. I mean, feel free to say things like that.
No,
if she does that, they should start saying like, do they do this? Do they do that?
Okay, so that's going to pacify racism, and we don't want to pacify racism. If you are a non-black individual and you say nothing, that too pacifies racism.
So what should she say?
The goal is to not pacify racism. So what
your best bet
would be to do is to pull that individual to the side, not embarrass them in front of a big group of people and say, listen, I appreciate the open channel of conversation that we're having, but that conversation in particular is not one that I would like to have with you. Not because I have a lot of colored friends, but because I am not a racist. It's as simple as that. Whether she likes it or not, you have to say it. And it has to be that explicit and it has to be that plain. There's no need for you to just tiptoe around the tulips and, oh, I just won't say nothing. Absolutely not, because you then pacify racism with your quietness. You absolutely will not pacify racism. You will go to them and you will say, listen, you will take a stance unless, you know, you're just not built like that. And if you're not built like that, that's your business. But if you are built like that, you will go to them, pull them to the side and say, listen, I appreciate the conversation. And, you know, generally we have good conversation, but I just don't appreciate that. Nor do I condone it and nor do I approve it. And I will no longer have it with you. The end. And you will turn around and you will walk away. You will not stay for conversation and you will not stay for questions.
So what about, okay, so what she asked for like a reflection time to talk about what may have been misconstrued as racism.
Because you know that's coming. You know it's coming.
As soon as you tell her, look, I'm sorry, like maybe you took what I was saying the wrong way, but I love blacks. No. Like blacks are great.
My best friend is black.
You will say no. You will shake your head and you will no, thank you.
My
No,
neighbor,
thank
my
you.
neighbor has a little son that they adopted. He's black, and I love him like he's my little neighbor's son. I love
And
him.
I thought about adopting a black kid myself, but I didn't
Exactly. You
do
know
it.
they're gonna go
Like
with all that.
no, that's also passive racism, and you will not allow it. No, thank you. Is your response?
I don't think.
No,
See,
thank you.
well, Ty. Wait, first off, Ty, who gave the best advice? The best advice out of
Me,
the three of us.
Jason.
Please be honest.
Jason.
The wedding is over, so he can't take you out as the best man. So.
You know Jason gave the best advice.
I will give my ruling after I give a final thought. Are we all finished?
I had a point, but I don't know what I was about to say. I just want to know who won.
But
Let
I'm
me
not
ask you,
saying you go in there and you pacify. I'm just saying that there's a good old buddy way for you to say that I'm not down for the racist talk.
I think,
see, what I like about
that in turn it pacifies racism, though.
Oh.
but I feel like you kind of have to in a sense, though. When a person is like showing you that they're racist, and you go in there and take the approach. Well, I like your approach, I really do, but I feel like my approach was the best one with a combination of like Jason's a little bit, only because I
Yes,
feel like
pacify the racism.
no, not necessarily pacify, but at the same time, it's like well, with your approach, you're coming to somebody and going off on them. Jason, calm down. You're coming in here, you're going off on a person. Like
I
the
didn't
person
go
does
off.
not.
No, don't.
You
no,
did
I
go
didn't
off. You did go off. Like you're
but
saying,
no,
I'm
I
not gonna
didn't.
pacify it.
All I did was say you pulled them because she said she wants to let them know without embarrassing to the point of being fired. All
But
you have to do is
Will,
pull somebody to the office and say, "Hey,
no,
excuse me.
listen.
I generally appreciate the conversation we have, but I'm not comfortable having this conversation, and I'm not a racist,
Right.
and I don't want to talk about that anymore with you or with anybody else."
But you
Thank
see what you just
Have a
did
good
when
day.
you said
That's the end of
you
it. That's not going off.
first of
Going
all, it
off, you
is
go in
because
there
what
and
you
be
did.
like, girl, do you know
Will,
that blacks are 4 times more likely to be arrested than whites? Do you know that blacks are 75% less likely to get a job than a white ex-con?
William,
That's going off.
William,
And I
Will,
did
now,
not say go
William,
off.
have a
yeah,
drink of
Thank you
water.
very much.
Well, when you did it, when you came in, your approach basically, what you did is checked her. You came in and you checked her. If you're talking to a person who is
So
racist, they
pacify the
don't
racism is what you're
listen.
saying.
I
Oh,
let you
I'm so
speak. I
sorry,
let you speak.
Massa. I just don't
I
want to
let
talk
you
about
speak.
I'm sorry, Massa.
What I'm saying is
Please, sir,
if
tell
you
me
go
more.
in and you come at a person, you check a person who just does not give a damn at all. They don't care. So you go in there to check them. That does nothing. I think you have to have a conversation with them.
The
And you
reason
kind of have to
racists carry on is because nobody checks it. That's the
well,
problem
like
in
you
the world
can right now. Well, me and you have discussed it all the time about stuff. And when you call yourself checking me, I don't care. It doesn't change my opinion or anything like
You
that.
don't care
But
because you're ignorant, just like racists.
and I'm gonna
That's
stay
what.
ignorant if you think you're gonna check me. That's not having a conversation with me. Like you need to teach me something. Have a conversation. Talk to me about it. But thinking you're gonna come in here and check me and put me in my place, that's never gonna go down.
Pacifying racism is not teaching you
Okay.
anything. It's teaching you to carry
All
on
right,
as a
all
racist.
right. We have other segments, so everyone's done. Thank you. I'm giving a final thought.
I thought we had another segment.
What is this? Divorce court? We're going back to your courtroom, your changing quarters for you to give us your final thought?
Boy,
Judge
if you
Lynn?
don't get
You guys know I let you go out there and play around with this advice, and then I give the real
Man,
advice.
believe
So
All
we've
right,
heard enough.
Nancy Grace.
We've heard enough of you guys, and now the professional is going to give the real advice, and we're going
come
to
through
move.
professional.
To be honest with you, I did enjoy bits and pieces of everything you all said, and if I were to give the perfect answer, I honestly would take a part of everything you guys said and
girl.
put it
Oh,
together
please.
in my brain. Dexter is correct. You do need to have a conversation about things like that. William is correct in that you definitely have to face this head on, and Jason is correct in that you cannot be confrontational when you do it. So you have to kind of put all those things together to give the perfect answer, and here it is.
So who won? That's the question.
She's about to give you.
To be honest with you, I would confront her privately. I would tell her that I was uncomfortable with the conversation. I would say that I would not call her racist head on. I would just say some of the comments are making me uncomfortable, and then I would follow up our conversation that we had with an email that summarized everything that we said, so that when she tried me, and she will try you.
You know
You
it.
have that email to fall back on.
Come
Now,
on, paper trail.
It was an email?
Come on.
even though
That's it.
you don't have an HR, at your place, there are companies and bodies in place that handle things like this, so that if there was an issue later on, you can reference that email that you are going to send after this conversation. Don't be stupid. She will come up with all types of things and say that you said this and said that you said that. She'll be super. Things might. You might start getting nitpicked for little things. You might find yourself out on a limb, but you cannot sit here and tolerate this, because things do go on if you let them go on. But you must cover yourself as well, so that you're not fired for something stupid. So you will summarize the conversation and email to her privately, so that she knows that you know that this thing exists and there's nothing that she can do. I'd even CC myself in my personal email just in case you try to use my account.
Come on.
After that, you shouldn't have an issue with her. You probably won't be cool with her anymore. She probably won't talk to you at all, but that's okay. You won't have to deal with her stuff. And that's our advice.
Very stellar work, guys. That was really good.
So Ty, sounds like I won.
That's the problem.
No, I took pieces of what everyone said. The most important parts of what everybody said, I put together.
Any questions that you want to send us for us to answer, like the one we answered today, feel free. BroTalkLive.com/questions. Time to play Jizzle.
Between the four of us, you're definitely going to get something good. So go ahead and email us.
Exactly. Jizzle time. We're going to play a game called Fill in the Blank. And I'll tell you a story, and I'll give you a sentence, and you fill in the blank on that story. A man in Colorado says that he's Prince's son. According to the man's father, the man's mother, she says, I allege that Prince Rogers Nelson, Mr. Nelson, is the father of my son, Carlin Q. Williams. She says that she was unmarried at the time she allegedly met Prince and did not have sex with anyone else 6 weeks before or after. Who is Carlin G. Williams? He is a rapper with a Kansas City address who styles himself as Carlin Q. Williams, Prince of Darkness, son of Prince. But currently he's in a federal prison in Colorado serving time for weapons charges. There was nothing mentioned there at the time of his arrest of him being Prince's son. So I got a question for you. This guy claiming to be Prince's son is blank. Someone give me an answer.
I said, Queen.
No, this guy is living by his father's quote. Despite everything, no one can dictate who you are to other people. And that's exactly what he's doing. You can't tell this man he's not Prince's son. So I'm here for it.
Genealogy absolutely can do that.
Debatable.
Moving on. Captain America: Civil War box office smash, killing the game right now. Did you guys see it? Everyone get a chance to see it?
Not yet. I'm going to see it this weekend.
Wow, 2 of you guys didn't see it? Oh my gosh. So Ty, this question is for me and you. The new Captain America movie was blank.
Amazing.
The best part was Black Panther, no?
Absolutely.
No, stop. No spoilers.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
No spoilers. Just know Black Panther came and he wrecked it, okay?
Yeah.
And not last but not least, we got 2 more. Jay-Z and Beyonce. We all know Beyonce came up with an album called Lemonade, in which she decided to go at Becky with the good hair, who a lot of people assume to be not Rachel Ray, but Rachel Roy. Because apparently Rachel Ray got a lot of flack on Twitter because people thought it was actually her. It was dragging her through the mud. But apparently Jay-Z is going to make his own Lemonade album where he divulges a lot of his side of the story. It says that Jay-Z will reveal his version of the events surrounding the rough patch in his 8-year marriage to Beyonce. Jay-Z is working on an album to tell his side of things. Fill in the blank, Jay-Z's rumored Lemonade album is going to be so blank.
Marketing geniuses.
Juicy.
I see what you did there, Dex. Juicy.
And what really? Oh, never mind. I'll address that.
You ever had some dry lemonade?
How is that possible? I've had a dry lemon before.
The lemonade that you make with the powder sometimes, you put too much powder in it.
That country time when you put too much in there, it'd be like, yeah.
Oh, so y'all can't eat canned corns, but y'all can drink a lemonade out of powder.
I think it's going to be whack. I don't like the idea. I think they could do better.
I think it's cool.
Okay, yeah. Doing dishes in the background?
Yes.
Oh.
Somebody's in trouble.
All right, and last but not least, Little Boozy has come out and told the world that he wants 10 kids. According to Boozy, he has promised his grandma that he would have 10 kids. He wants 3 more children and hopes that 2 of those children will be twins. He said, quote, I got 7 kids. I'm trying to make 3 more, though. Yeah, I want 10 kids. I always told my grandmother I'm going to have 10 kids. and I got some good sperm. If I drop it on your arm, you're pregnant. I'm 3 away. I want a pair of twins too. I think I'm going to freeze my sperm, and when I find a girl, I'm going to make twins. I'm thinking about that, but I'm looking for someone to put a baby in right now. I just want someone who's willing to be a good mother. So, fill in the blank. Little Boozy is blank for wanting a 6th baby mama to have his last 3 kids.
Goals.
Running for office. Like, are you pandering also?
Dex, you say goals?
Goals.
I think he's responsible. I mean, at least he wants a mother to go with the baby. Like, he wants
and plus,
to
like he has cancer of some sort, so like I can kind of understand. Like,
he beat it.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, and I feel like this is kind of like preserving his legacy, so I can understand it. And if he has the money for him, which I don't know if he does, but if he has the money to take care of the kids, why not?
Amen. All right, that was this edition of Jizza Time. Fill in the blank. It is now time for one of the best segments of the show, and it is called Dex's BS Report.
All right, as you guys all know, it's Dex's BS Report time. This is the first one of the new season, so I hope it's a good one. As you guys all know, it is prom season, so you see all the girls are here with the splits up to their navels, but you know that doesn't do my story. One thing that a lot of people do, a lot of girls do for prom is they go and they get spray tans. Well, there's a girl who visited Bella Day Spot in Toledo, Ohio, who decided, you know what, I've never got a tan before, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get one because it's prom. Like, why not? And she went and she got a spray tan, but you know, during the process of getting the spray tan, her boyfriend called her and they got into a little altercation. So, you know, what most people do, they cry, they get upset. So the girl began crying and realized she didn't have any tissues or anything like that. So this spray tan actually ruined and spread it throughout her face. And when she noticed it was happening, she cried even more. And like her face was covered in lines of tears, which, you know, obviously wipe off the spray tan. So it's like, you know, there's a little discoloration in there. But, you know, unlike most of my BS reports, this one has a happy ending. She was able to go back and get spray painted back on her face in order to, you know, fix that. So, you know, some people don't have that issue as far as like having to get spray tans. But, you know, if you do, if you do have that issue, just know that all spray tan mishaps are easily corrected. What isn't corrected, though, is calling the police for things that you don't really need. So a Chicago teenager was reportedly arrested after calling 911 and asking the dispatcher where the hose at. 18-year-old Dennis Higgins dialed 911 on his cell phone Saturday night and asked the police dispatcher where the hose at. At which point the dispatcher asked him, like, we only respond to emergency calls, not jokes. He responded by telling the dispatcher, this is indeed an emergency, and I urgently need a hoe to give me head.
What's the emergency for?
He needed a hoe to give him head.
He needed a hoe.
Now, authorities immediately tracked down his location and arrested him for disorderly conduct. According to police, upon being arrested, he asked the officers, so y'all ain't gonna tell me where the hoe's at.
So hold up. So you can get arrested for simply calling the police and asking for someone to give you fellatio.
Well, you know, it's
for wasting their time. You can, because there are other people trying to get through, and you're being a ridiculous fool.
So who are they to deem you something that's not an emergency? What if it really was an emergency?
And you know, at the end of the day, though, it's a BS report, and I think, you know, on this show we should always dispel rumors and lies. So let's call the police officers and ask them.
Just do it.
Do it. What is the number? 911?
911.
Let's see if they can tell me where the hose is. I'm joking. I would never.
I was hoping you were going to do it.
All right.
Do it.
They would. Oh, please.
Stay online long enough to kick that door down.
All right, and then the last story. In New York, a 41-year-old woman, won the winning lottery ticket. Had a winning lottery ticket, and she won $3 million Friday night. She did what most of us would do and showed up to work Monday morning, but to deliver one last package. Her boss came and said,
Hold up. Was the poop pie like in like in the Help?
Well, just listen. So her boss was like, I knew something was going wrong because I came back from lunch and the door to my office was closed. I slowly opened the door to discover the woman with her pants around her ankles, hunched over my desk like a hippopotamus, dropping a massive poo on my desk. She
Oh,
shot her head towards me and locked eyes with me. I was frozen in shock and fear. In my peripheral vision, I saw a huge mud monkey sliding out of her butt like Play-Doh and a fun factory.
What they
When
call it? Hold on, what they call it?
a
it's
mud
called,
monkey.
when asked her, like, why did you do this? She said it was worth it. On Friday when I hit the lottery, I knew this would be the first thing I would do. I hit up every Mexican food truck and saved my dumps all weekend. I was shuffling around like a different. She said, sorry. I was shuffling around like a death row inmate trying not to explode. I've been putting up with this guy's shit for years. It's time he would put up with some of mine. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Dex's BS report for the week.
Oh,
Good Lord.
What?
Well, I'm glad she got the $3 million she can fall back on. I hope she don't. I mean, think I would still work if I won $3 million on the lottery. I would definitely still keep a part-time job at least.
Yeah, if I won 3 million, that's it. I would keep a full-time job. Like, why would I stop working?
I don't know if I feel like getting up 8 to 5 every. That's a lot Monday through Friday, and I got 3 million
not
in
that
the bank.
mud monkey.
I might be able to work weekends or something like that at the Apple Store, but yeah, I'm not working no eight
I
to
would
five
definitely
on
start
Monday
a
through Friday.
business so that I didn't really. I don't know, but I'm not going into anybody's office and being a mud monkey.
You think I'm
That's
gonna take you think I'm gonna take orders from the man and I got
Like,
3 million
I
in the
would
bank?
have to win. Like, if I were to do a mud, number one, I would never do that to my boss. So I'm quite fine. But if I were to do that, I would have to win at least $500,000 before I thought that I would be taking a mud monkey on somebody's desk. Like, number one,
That's the name of the show, Mud Monkey.
a mud monkey. Like, what? All right.
Lord Jesus.
All right, it is time for Seats. Bill, it is your segment of the show. Take it away.
So it is the time where we get off our chest all the people, who kind of pissed us off over the week. We rant and we rave. So who would like to begin us off with seats?
I'll start. So my seat is gonna go to Megan Trainor because I feel like she's full of crap. So there's apparently this new video that
Can we
was
put
released.
like a disclaimer on who the hell Megan Trainor is? Because a lot of people, including I'm sure Tassine, doesn't know who Megan Trainor
Well,
is.
she's a Grammy winner at this point, so.
What does that mean?
Oh well.
I mean,
Anyway,
so is either Drake or Future. So
Drake got one.
Drake has a Grammy. Yeah, he does.
well, there we go.
There you go. So anyway, there we go. Cut him on out. So anyway, Megan Trainor is a pop singer who sings all about that bass. So basically what happened was there was a video for one of her new singles that was released, and she immediately had that video yanked down. But the reason she had it yanked down is because she said that her body was digitally enhanced. She said they made her waist slimmer, and she does not like that message being put out. Now, for me, I find this very hard to believe because this is the most press Megan Trainor has gotten in quite some time. And I find it very convenient that like you released this new video that we had no clue that was even going to be released or know anything about the video whatsoever, but now everybody's talking about it because they doctored your image and you had to make them pull it down and put it back up with your right image. I just find that very hard to believe, and I want you to have a seat for that. And I also don't think that you would have let them release a video without you seeing it first. So have a seat for that, Megan Trainor.
Most interesting. Who's going to go next? Ty?
I do have a seat. I'm seating this woman whom I work with, or whom with I work, however you want to say it properly, because she is going around in corners and talking trash about me, which is the most ridiculous thing in the world. Because I really don't interact with people that often, other than telling them, small things of what I'm doing. And so I find out. So I applied for a new job, and I do mean applied. Did not get any paperwork. Didn't get anything. I applied for a new job within my current establishment, and it just so happens that that new job will cancel out her current job. Now, is that my fault? Absolutely not. That's your business. That's between you and the principal. So anyway, she's like, well, he's going to go behind my back and apply for this job, and then the principal's going to give it to his little buddy.
Ain't nothing little about
Let
time.
that
So
let that marinate for a while because they're friends and all this other stuff. And
Oh, you a little buddy? That's what
yeah,
you're referring to?
apparently so.
little employee buddy.
So I'm definitely giving her a seat. Like the job market is very competitive. You can't compete. That's your business. Um, and then at the end of the day, I heard that she didn't even apply for the new position. She just assumed like somebody would give it to her, even though I'm actually more qualified than she
Probably
is.
because she wasn't qualified for it. She didn't want to take food out of your mouth.
Good night.
So I'm definitely giving her a seat. And if anybody is on the job and you have issues with people, just ignore them. That's what I do. I ignored her. Today she didn't speak to me as if like her useless "Hi, Mr. Girls" is supposed to do something to me. Like so I walk in the office and she ignores me. And I'm like, do you call yourself being back? I don't give a rat's ass. Like I don't care at all. Like that was ridiculous. Like don't waste your time. You can finish giving me your little fake hello. Like whatever. So that was my seat today. I'm seating this woman for hating on my career goals.
My seat is going to go to the lovely folks over there at Twitter.
Hold it.
What?
Will
I
has
get paid from
stocks in Twitter.
Oh,
That's your
sure
business.
do.
My seat's going to go to the good people over at Twitter because they can, not necessarily the app, but the people on the app, they are being really annoying today. Of course, today's a Twitter holiday. If you guys didn't know, it was like tall girl Twitter and big guy Twitter, and everyone who's like, in some sort of way different than someone else. Like the short guys didn't get no love today. It's all about the tall girls and the big guys. And apparently it was the hashtag big girl Twitter or tall girl Twitter and big guy Twitter. And you go on there and you basically just put out your picture in hopes of getting chose. So this is the new way that people are dating. I just think we need to all remember that we knew that you were big before today, and we knew that you were tall before today. So you uploading those pictures didn't do anything. We still recognize you as the same person that you were before. I mean, I hope this does work out for you, and you do get chose some way or the other, but I don't think making a hashtag and involving the entire Twitter community in your shenanigans is the way to go. So from here on out, there are certain apps like Tinder, Match.com, Christian Mingle, Arabs Mingle, and other things out there
and black people meet.
Black people meet that will do the matching for you, and it's pretty discreet, so none of the rest of us have to know.
Hearing that seat though makes me feel so proud of myself. I had no idea this existed, so I feel like I'm like so important now. Like I'm an adult now. I was doing work today while the kids were playing on Twitter.
They were
I'm here for it. Like I'm like an adult now. Like I'm official.
One hashtag I was here for was hashtag fuck Ali from Game of Thrones for killing Jon Snow.
Oh yeah, definitely. When that actually happened, I was sitting up at my TV and I was screaming at the TV. I was like, kill him. I want him dead. I was like, F him, kill him. I
couldn't wait. Like to see his body hanging like that, I was so pleased.
They're trying to play it so sad. I was like, get out of here. I hope he does die.
Yeah, I was really happy about it. So I've never really been happy about
I did not know that was a hashtag. I'm sorry.
Thing. Yeah, it was. You didn't see it?
Well, I was off of Twitter because I didn't want to see the spoilers before it aired over here on the West Coast.
So I was pretty pleased about it. Part of my language, that was the actual hashtag.
Bill?
Okay, so I'll give my seat now. So we all know that we all traveled to Los Angeles, California a few weeks ago for Jason's nuptials. And as we were on our way back to Philadelphia, this is where my seat comes in because I actually have to seat an entire airline.
Oh, God.
Yes. So as we pull up to the scene, to get out and check our bags and all, we walk into the airport, and our flight didn't leave until 11:20 a.m. We got to the airport at like 10:39, 10:40 in the a.m. And when we
Hold,
go to
hold,
check
hold,
in,
hold, 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 hold,
the
hold, 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 hold. So your plane was scheduled to leave at 11:20, and you showed up to the
yes,
airport at 10:40.
yes.
I can imagine what your seat is about. Go ahead.
Does it
So
tell you to arrive 2 hours early?
as no, who has time for that? I never arrived 2 hours early to anywhere,
Okay.
not even church.
Finish your story.
Um,
Definitely
so
not true.
we go to check in, and the woman goes, "Well, you missed check in by 5 minutes, so now you need to take your bag up to the plane." I said, "I'm sorry. You mean to tell me that I'm 5 minutes late, so you can't take my bag, put it on that little chute, send it up, and let them throw my bag under the plane?" That's exactly what I'm saying to you, is what she says. I said, "But do you realize that if I take my bag up there, it's still going to go under the plane, and the belly of the plane is actually still open? Like the conveyor belt is still moving, and you can still take my bag and put it on that belt." She was like, "Well, I can't." Okay, fine. So I then asked her, what am I supposed to do with the bag? She goes, "Well, take it through TSA and see if they'll put it under the plane." Wonderful. So my nephew and I, we go stand in line. And as we're standing in line, the woman has such an attitude, and she was just so over it, you could tell. But now we're standing in line, and the line is clearly like an hour long because we're at LAX. And everything at LAX is just an hour long for no reason. So as we're standing in line, the time is just ticking, ticking by. And we look up, and it's 11:15 in the AM. So it's looking like we won't make the flight. And
Oh
so
my goodness.
as as I start looking around because I'm ready to go off, and anybody knows me knows that like me having to wait for things will make me go off. Who comes to get us to expedite us to the front of the line but Mustang Sally?
Who
Because they
the
don't have
hell is
enough
Mustang Sally?
homegirl who ain't want to check my bags. They didn't have enough people on this raggedy behind flight, so they needed to expedite whoever was going to the front of the line. So here we get up out the line, we go up a little escalator, and we get to the front. So now I got to throw out my liquids that are in my bag because she was too raggedy to check my bags. So as I do that, we go to the airline. We go to the front, we go to board the plane, and the woman goes, "Well, where are you off to?" And I tell her, we're supposed to be on a plane going to Denver, Colorado. And she was like, "So why does your plane ticket say Philadelphia?" I said, "Well, that's my final destination." And this little hussy went to turn around and make a joke about how how are you going to Denver if Philadelphia is your last stop? I said, "No, ma'am, be specific." So I need to see the entire group of people that both work for and have decided to come up with this raggedy Frontier airline. I will never fly it again. I will continue flying my Delta Airlines.
Question though,
And that's
just I don't want to interrupt your seat. This seat is for you, right? Like you're seating yourself. Because
Right,
why
because
the
this
hell would
one
you sit
clearly
there?
was wrong.
I don't see where you were wrong. Wrong. Duh. I see where you were wrong, but I don't see where you were wronged in this situation. She told you
good
missed.
thing I didn't ask you. So be
Because he
quiet.
wants he wants special
I didn't ask. I didn't
accommodation
ask.
Wait, wait,
I,
but
I,
Will,
I
you
for
certainly
she
I
told
for
didn't
Digger
ask.
though.
I didn't ask. I
she
didn't
told
ask.
you missed it
I
by
didn't
five
ask.
minutes. Yet you
I did
stood
not
there
ask.
and argued with her,
I
knowing you
did
had
not
already
ask.
showed up late anyway.
I
So you
did not
showed up at
ask.
10:40
Because
and
guess
argued
what?
with her for
My
10
bag
minutes.
still went under the plane. It's a good thing I didn't ask you. Such a good thing I didn't ask you.
Then you went up
Such a
there with
good thing.
liquids, knowing you can't go on the plane
It's
with liquids
such
anyway.
a
So why
good
did
thing
you
I
throw
did
those
not ask.
away?
Well, where else was I going to take? Where else was I going to take the bag?
Why did you bring the
Leave it sit
liquids
at the
with
counter.
you?
Be
Why did you bring
quiet.
the liquids with you?
Just I
William always
choose to be
wants special
quiet.
treatment.
Like, Will,
Shake
you don't make no sense here. Like, you are looking mad at these people
So
for
do me
no
a favor
reason.
and be quiet and listen. So when I went to check my bag, the bag that I was checking had liquids in it, and it would have gone under the plane just fine because I got it to California just fine. So when I got to the front,
What
I had to
liquids are you
dump.
traveling with?
Ooh, ooh, can you stop talking, please? Can
I
you
want
for
to
30
know
seconds just stop talking?
what
If you
liquid
just
did you
shut
bring
up,
from
you could
Philadelphia
leave. If
to
you would
California?
just
What
shut up.
liquid was it?
If you
You
would
are allowed
just
to
shut
bring
up.
liquids, but you have to put them. You have to check the bag. But unfortunately, he missed checking because he decided that
Like that was your fault.
he was allowed to get to the
Thank you for
airport
listening,
later
Ty.
than
Thank you
most
for
people.
listening,
But
Ty.
Will, my question was, what
I'm not
liquid?
answering your question because my bag still went under the plane.
Got
Conversation
it.
over.
But what
Jason,
liquid did you bring
Jason,
from Philadelphia to California and
Jason,
back to Philadelphia? What liquid was that? Like, what
Jason,
could you possibly need to bring back and forth like that?
Jason.
You smuggling drugs? That's what you're doing.
He was smuggling drugs.
Smuggling drugs.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, that was the seats. Another episode of Bro Talk Live. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Don't forget to check out the website brotalklive.com, redesigned, new logo and everything. Starting at the tip top of the morning today.
Did we get new t-shirts?
If you pay for them, yeah.
We didn't pay for them last time. Back in the day, this gig came with free t-shirts.
You know, it did back in the day. But yes, we will. If you would like to purchase a T-shirt, feel free to hit us up, brotalklive.com/shop. For Dexter, for Ty, for Bill, don't forget to tell your friends about the show. This has been another edition of Bro Talk Live. We'll see you next week.